Hey everybody, so part of the breaking news in the last couple of days is that Morocco has officially submitted a bid to FIFA to host the 2026 World Cup. I think they just met the deadline to submit a bid for it. So the USA, Mexico, and Canada bid has some competition. I don't know if it's still open for other countries to jump in. Maybe not. At least that's not what I heard. Um, what do I think of Morocco's bid? I think it is one of the few countries in Africa that could probably host a World Cup now or within the next few years. Um, but I can only really think of a handful, maybe like South Africa, Morocco, Tunisia, um, maybe like a joint effort of Cameroon and Nigeria. Um, I think Egypt could because we bid for it back in 2010, but not many can. But of those who can, Morocco is definitely one of them. Uh, Other thoughts on it? Morocco is a pretty safe country. It's one of the safest countries in Africa, one of the safest countries in the Arab world. Rich culture of Arab, Berber, and French. Uh, Great people. I know a few Moroccans. Um, they are my Arab brothers. So I think Morocco would be a great destination for the World Cup, but I don't want them to win it. I don't want them to win the bid because, I live in the US. I would like to physically attend a World Cup in the US. But then again, I could see myself going to a World Cup in Morocco. But if I'm going to go to Morocco, I kind of want the focus of my vacation to be on the country itself, not just some kind of sporting event. Um, so preferential, I would like it to be in the US. And also because I just feel like it would eliminate the concern of infrastructure and stadium building because we already have that here. Morocco would be under pressure to meet some kind of deadline. Um, I also believe that number one, an African team has hosted the World Cup in 2010, so it would only be a short 16 years later that they get it again. And CONCACAF has not had a World Cup since 1994, which is going on almost 30 years now. So, and in addition to that, number two, if Morocco gets the 2026 World Cup, it would be just 4 years after the Qatar edition, and you would have two World Cups in a row that are held on Arab soil. And it kind of negates FIFA's message of trying to expand the World Cup to new horizons, new cultures. Yes, technically, Qatar is considered part of Asia, Morocco is African, but if you give two World Cups in a row to Arab nations, you're pretty much keeping it in the same region. Um, as it is. And I don't really think that's fair, to be honest. On the other side of it, I do feel bad for Morocco because they should have arguably been awarded the 2010 World Cup. This is the fifth time Morocco has bid to host the tournament, which means they're probably going to get it one day, if not for 2026. Um, they lost out in 2006 to Germany, very narrowly. And they should have won the 2010 bid, but there was a lot of last minute corruption and hand wringing and bribery in FIFA, and it went to South Africa. I believe in one round of bidding, Morocco even won the most votes, but then it went to South Africa at the last minute. So they really did kind of get cheated out of it, I think. But two rights don't make a wrong. I don't think Morocco should be awarded it based on the fact that they may or may not have gotten cheated out of it in 2010. I think if they want to win this bid, they need to be given it out of winning it through their own merit and their own right, not just being awarded because of sympathy. Um, I'd be fine with the World Cup in Morocco, just not if it hurts the chances of us hosting it. And I think that bringing it to CONCACAF would be one of the best things that FIFA can do because the United States in 1994 still holds the highest revenue of World Cup in profit, in participation, and you're bringing it to another country who is in love with it, Mexico, and you're bringing it to a new horizon, which is what FIFA wants to do in Canada. So I think that it just makes the perfect sense to bring it to Mexico, the USA, and Canada. Um, and also because you have to consider the 2026 World Cup is going to be the first time the expansion goes to 48 teams. It's going to be a much larger World Cup. It's going to need more stadiums. It's going to need a more elaborate transportation system. And I think US, Canada, and Mexico has that. I don't know if a smaller country like Morocco will be able to deal with that properly. Um, and the whole concerns of travel distances in Mexico, the United States, and Canada, how it takes up most of the North American continent, a lot of travel time between teams. There's an easy solution for that. Basically, what you do is for each groups in the first stages, you have all the teams in these groups play in a specific region of the country. So if Group A contains USA, Poland, uh, Burkina Faso, and Chile, uh, have that group play on the West Coast. Maybe have Group B play in the East Coast. Have C in the South. Here in the Midwest. It's just that simple. The only time that teams would have to worry about traveling would be when they go to knockout stages. But even then, in the knockout stages, from the round of 32 onwards, you keep certain sections of the bracket in different in the same region of whatever country is hosting it. So it reduces travel time. So I don't really see a big deal about that. And also the whole idea that the United States doesn't have a soccer culture that's growing rapidly is just complete nonsense. So I think we should win the bid, but as far as is Morocco a threat to win the bid, I think they are. And I think they are because, I hate to say it, but FIFA might be compelled to award them it because they were cheated out of it in 2010. And FIFA might also be under pressure from maybe some bribery. I don't know. I'm not saying the Moroccan Federation itself is corrupt, but you just never know with FIFA. If they gave it to a small country like Qatar that's using slave labor to build their stadiums, uh, and have to move it to a 2-week period, a compressed tournament in the winter, uh, a country that has no business hosting it, and I will not accept any counter arguments as to why Qatar should host it. If they're willing to do that, then I would not put it past them to give it to a much more deserving country. Yes, Morocco, but to not go with the best option here, as they went with the worst possible option in 2022. So, should U.S. fans be worried about Morocco taking this? Yes, I think you should. We should be worried because Morocco is one of the more qualified countries in Africa to host it. They've bid for it before, so FIFA might feel guilty or compelled to give it to them. And also because a lot of hand wringing and potentially money involved. So we'll see what happens. But sorry, Morocco. I hope you don't win this bid again. I'm sorry. Maybe 2030 or 2034. So leave a comment section below. Like, subscribe. What are your thoughts on this? Until then, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Uh, have a good day. Much love. Peace out.